Good Thursday morning. How are you? Happy to have you on with us. It is the Real Monica Adams podcast brought to you by our friends at Invita Health and Wellness. We're not in the studios today. We are mobile. Again, we're at our home, and that's what we do for you a lot of times on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Come to you from all over. That's the thing that I really love is that we can reach you. I don't care where I am across the world. And I really want to do that in the future as I travel, come to see you in different states. That's why I would love to know where you are receiving the message of the Real Monica Adams podcast. Whether you're here in Missouri, if you're on the Illinois side, or if you are states away or even countries away, because I want to know just how far our reach is getting. I love having you with us each and every day. If you didn't know, we do this at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. Now we have reached an additional 5,000. Why is that? Because I am coming to you live on my business page, my personal page on Facebook, and on YouTube. And then on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m., right as we wrap up the live broadcast, we drop a new show on all the audio podcast platforms. So wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be iHeartRadio or Spotify or iTunes, we're dropping a new one today, and it has to do with perfectionism. I love that one because that's one particular topic that I coach so many people on. That striving for perfectionism. It's great to want to always do your best, right? But it's the amount of pressure you put on yourself when you try to be perfect. So that's coming up 8 o'clock. Be sure to listen to that. Just type in The Real Monica Adams wherever you get your podcast, and you will find that show coming up in exactly 1 hour. Good morning to Kathleen Morris, to Sean Fitzgerald, to Pamela Miller, Marilyn Westenberger. I hope you're all having a great start to your day. Yesterday, I came to you from outside right by the pool. We did a little bonus workout, by the way, just a little bit. I was just showing you the way you can advance and how you modify so that way it doesn't matter. I never want anybody to feel left out. We showed you how to balance. We showed you the importance of modifying from a push-up standpoint all the way down. We did a push-up by the pool. Terry asked me to jump in the pool. She said the silly side of Monica would jump in the pool. That's very true. Kathy, how are you? Good morning to Bill as well. Love it. As you get on, we're going to talk today about gut instinct. That's our topic. And we're going to talk about how it drives you or how it should drive you. We're going to talk about where it comes from. We're going to talk about the third eye. And if you're into holistic medicine, the chakra points and the crown and the third eye, how high they go. We know we're reaching closer, if you're a faith-based person, closer to go up towards heaven or the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, all those things, the numerology people and how they work in threes, the trio of life, all those things that we can discuss today. Richard, how are you? Healing, I hope, from your back surgery. Blessings to you, our friend. Good morning. Good work, sister. Okay, Riaz, thank you. I think Riaz is new to the show. I am Monica's biggest fan from Swansea, Illinois. Kyle, well, thank you. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you all for popping on early. I hope you can stay with us in the whole hour. Remember, if you can't, the show will then process and it will be there for you. I'll never let it delete because what I want is a great resource of shows from March 1st until almost August 1st, 5 months in almost. And that way, if there's one that really connected with you, that you can go back to it, that you can go back and listen to it, that you can receive the message. And sometimes you think, wow, I'm really dealing with fill in the blank. I think Monica covered that in a show in the past. I mean, we've done some incredible ones. In fact, we filled the first couple of months all with topics that you wanted me to cover. I can go back and look at some of the most incredible ones that we've done together. Bullying, PTSD awareness, just to name a few, abuse, elder care, sibling rivalries, things like that. So what I want from you is for us to start filling in those blanks again. Because what happens on Mondays and Tuesdays, I have guests and we are loaded up now through the second week of August. So I've been busy. I've been very busy getting things underway. I mean, let me just look at some of the past things we've done. If you're new to the show and you don't know this, we've done the dark side of perfectionism. That is the deep dark side. Now, today, what drops has to do with perfectionism just as a whole. Breaking habits is hard. Fakeness, how to not fall into their game. We've talked about mentorship. We've talked about how to focus. I mean, I'm looking back at some of the topics that you all gave us. Toxic bosses, we've discussed. New adult friendships and how hard some people think it is to make friends as an adult. Menopause struggles. What does success mean? Being disabled and living with a disabled person, living your new life as a widow, rebuilding and finding yourself after having a toxic relationship. I mean, listen to some of these. AI dangers, jealousies, insecurities. I'm just looking through the list of what you gave me. So here's what I want to do. I want to load it up again. One of the topics that one of you wanted me to discuss, but this has to do with the guest. So coming up in the middle of August, we'll talk about chiropractic care and resetting the nervous system. I love that one. And I also want to feature people that I think are mentors and deep into fitness, wellness, just like I am, but I want to shine a light on other local, wonderful personal trainers, wellness people, people in the physical therapy industry, great doctors. That way you have a wonderful list when you need that type of care. Now, of course, I always want you to come to me because I can let you know who I recommend. And I do have my quote unquote experts. So remember that. Whoa. Okay. Let's see. We're getting a lot of comments. So I don't know who's moderating, if it is Michelle from Mexico or Caroline. But if we see big long ones that have to do with maybe a hack, make sure that we can let those go. So may God bless you and your family always. Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Linda says. I'm hoping that's just an evangelical thing. That might be. I'm not going to read all of that. Good morning from Edwardsville. Trisha says. All right, everyone. I see a lot of you on. We usually, when I'm solo, get deep into our topic at about 7:10, 7:15, just to give enough people a chance to come on. But I've got my notebook ready today. I want you to think deep from your soul. You can go from your mind, but the deeper you go into your soul and think about the things that are in our world that you would like for us to discuss, things that are affecting you, things that are affecting your kids. So I want you to think of the entire family unit when you give me the topics that you want me to discuss. So think about that. And then I will let you know fully who we have coming up in the next 3 weeks, because I have been busy loading those shows up. I can tell you who we have coming up on next Monday and Tuesday. And then throughout this hour, I'll load up who we have coming up throughout the month of August as well, because we just landed 2 more people. And I don't care if they're local. I don't care if they're celebrities. What I want are people that align with us. I also want to thank our incredible sponsors. Of course, we talked about Invita Health and Wellness, and we'll be having Dr. Sarah and Jamie on July 31st from Invita to talk about the wonderful things that they're doing. But we're thanking our wonderful sponsors. And by the way, you just read it coming across the screen. It says, thank you for tuning in, and feel free to comment, and thanking our sponsors that we have right now, but we have added to that list. And come August 1st, you will hear from our latest sponsor, Kathy Kilo Peterson. She's a State Farm agent. And so we'll be talking more about her. So I just love the fact that more and more people are coming on. I hope, Monica, you will come to Swansea, Illinois sometime. Yeah, maybe we need to do more mobile Monica shows from different businesses. That's really what I'm asking is there a business you would like for me to come live from so we can go and do remotes? We're going to do one actually coming up in Brentwood, and I can't tell you what it is just yet. That's coming up in September. So yes, remember, when I ask you if you know someone that you think would like to be a sponsor, reach out to me. I had a great, wonderful text message. It came yesterday from a woman who said, I've got 2 people for you that are very interested in being a part of your show. And what I have said is I will be very, very selective in who is on as a guest and very selective on who is a regular sponsor, because I want them to make sure that they align with our mission. Good morning to Leona. Yes, that is my boss. Yes, she is. Marilyn, thank you so much for passing along. 1, introducing us at the retreat, and 2, bringing her to us. You could do a show outside of my house, Monica, in a hat. I could, but you got to get a sponsor for it, Kyle. I would need to have a sponsor. We could do a big tent. I actually had a great interview or a message yesterday from an idea of a new cafe that's opening up, and a full-blown show that I want to do on empowering women and high successful women, but where the walk they came from. Michelle, good morning from rainy Colorado. All right, there we go. That's what I'm asking. Where are you watching from? Where are you receiving this message? Riaz is talking about a lot of things on here, and that's wonderful. Okay, hope that's all great. I'm going to take a quick break. When we return, the topic of the day, think about this, gut instinct. I want you to think down in your gut, where it comes from, your gut instinct, your third eye, that intuition, and how it guides you, or how it should have. We'll look a little bit in the past, but we won't stay there too long. And we'll talk about how it's guiding you today and how I hope it will guide you in the future. Right back, right after the break. Invita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Invita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Invita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Invita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online invitahealthandwellness.com. Do you want to do a little jig when you hear that music? I hope it's become synonymous with, oh, Monica's coming back on. That's right. I'm here for you. And I love having you here with us. It's the Real Monica Adams Show. It's the mobile version from my home. And welcome to my home, by the way. Thank you for welcoming me into yours, not just right now, but for the last 30 years. It has meant a great deal to me. So today's topic that we're talking about is gut instinct and what that means to you. Good morning, Monica from Columbia, Illinois. Yeah, let me know where you're watching from. Jennifer McDaniel on nutrition and healthy eating. Kathy, that's one of my best friends. She used to be on my Thursday night class on a regular basis. So you bet, nutrition and healthy eating. We'll go back to that. We've actually done a show on that in the past, but I can absolutely bring on my friend. We've actually talked about having her on before, and it's just coordinating schedules. Good morning, Dan. How are you? Do you have a boss? Richard, my boss is me. Yes, my boss is the good Lord above. Richard, are you on pain medicine? I hope you are doing okay, my friend. Okay, ready? We're just going to get right into it. So, first and foremost, gut instinct. How often have you let that guide your life? Okay, I'll give you a little bit to type in. What do you think that gut instinct, where I guess I want to say is, where do you think that gut instinct comes from? And how often have you dismissed it? I have women's intuition. It helps me make decisions. That's what Stephanie says. A lot of people have motherly. Good morning, Janet. Motherly intuition. Teacher intuition. People talk about teachers and moms having eyes in the back of their head. No, it's that gut instinct. It is tapping into your intuitive state. Now, for those of you that go into more of the holistic mindset and the energy mindset and the chakras, do you know what a chakra is? First and foremost, we have multiple ones, but one of them is called your third eye, which if you operate more with that, it will guide you in the thought process and how you make your decisions. I'm already home. Okay, great. I took 2 pain meds yesterday. No more pain meds for me. I don't like them. I might be punch drunk, not sleeping very good. Well, Richard, we wish the best for you. So let's just receive the message today. Let's talk about this. Gut instinct, where do you think it comes from? Okay, that's my first question to you. And as I talk about this, I want you to think about decisions you've made in your life. And you can dip into the past. I want to kind of go there because what I want you to think about is, had you allowed your gut instinct to guide you in certain circumstances? And if you would be honest, you'll share this with us. If you had allowed it to drive you and allow you to make certain decisions, do you think parts of your life would be different? God blessings to you as well. Okay, gut instinct. God, Richard says God. His gut instinct is guided by God. What about you? Where do you think gut instinct comes from? And first of all, just give me the definition of gut instinct. Those are your interaction points at this point. And then we'll go a little bit deeper here in the next 45 minutes. So gut instinct, when you get those little chills, where do you think that comes from? I always feel either my dad or God. I agree with Richard. God and my father are guiding me from above. Or we could say angels that have gone before us. What do you think that is? Who do you think that comes from? So answer the question first, gut instinct. What is gut instinct? Because it's one of the reasons I love doing retreats. It's one of the reasons I like being in front of you and really where I want to have the audience so that I can go and walk around and I can say, and put a microphone in front of your face and say, answer the question, what's gut instinct? And then I'd go to a next person and say, what do you think gut instinct is? And what's going to happen is you'll hear different things from so many different people. That's the beauty of the world, that we all think a little different and then we come back in similarities. And we really are intertwined so many ways. Janet says God, just like Richard said God. Marilyn, I live by the premise that the gut is typically more correct than the mind, but the strength of your mind convinces you to override the gut. I trust my gut more. Gut instinct is deep in my soul and the angels around me that God has sent. Very good, Marilyn. I have a poster in my basement when it comes to working out that says, your mind will give up 100 times before your body ever will. Okay, so it also is what the mind does. The mind will play incredible tricks on you. Terry says God, self awareness, your conscience, and your mind awareness. Okay, a lot of that is your mind and where the driving force of the mind comes from. Linda says, well put, Marilyn. I do believe, but again, I'm very faith based. I do believe it has a lot to do with God driven forces. But I want to hear from others because not everybody believes in God. Some people have questions, they question their faith. Some people do not believe at all. Some people are atheist. Some people are agnostic. Some people are Presbyterian and Lutheran and Catholic. And we have religion, and then we have faith, and then we have spirituality. And that's a whole other show where people feel like they can't play together. They can't be on the same playground. No, these people think this way and I think this way. And then we push. I don't think that's how it should be. I think it should be listening to the person who doesn't believe at all. And then listening to the person who's so faith based, right? We get the atheist and the devout Catholic together in a room. Those panels, I think that's where we truly change lives. See, I just got a chill. And so when I get those chills, what do you think a chill means, by the way? So you have two things to answer me right now. It's only 7:17, but we are going deep very quick. So what do you think gut instinct is? And what do you think these chills are that I talk about? Some people don't understand what a chill is. Have you gotten chills? Do you let the chills guide you? I think it's God guiding me for sure. That's what Amy says. But again, there's so many different mindsets. Please don't feel scared to answer that question. I'm going to give you some time because I want to hear from everyone. I don't want everyone to follow, everyone to say the same thing. That's not how we change lives. We change lives when we have different mindsets. I'm popping a bubbly. Hashtag Papa Bubbly. I don't know who's moderating. Maybe I don't have anyone moderating, but Caroline, are you on? Or Michelle, are you on? I don't think Michelle is because she would have said hi already. Caroline said she was going to moderate for Michelle, so I hope she's up and not sleeping so she can put some hashtags in here for you. What do you think the gut instinct is? And do you think it's God guiding you, angels guiding you, your family that's gone already, it's left this earth? Who do you think? There we go. Caroline's your moderator today. Hashtag Papa Bubbly. So we have been talking about how we think that bubbly should be one of our sponsors. What do you think, everybody? And somebody asked me what I was drinking the other day. It's pineapple. Pineapple bubbly. Bubbly, love it, right, Linda? I know. We've got to get a hold of the marketing team behind Bubbly. I'm going to throw Caroline on that, or Michelle. We've got to get Bubbly on as a sponsor because it just makes sense. I drink them all the time. Pineapple yesterday was blueberry. Oh, there we go. Amy just said what flavor. It is pineapple. See? There we go. And I get nothing from that. I have no connection to them, but I would love them to have on the show. Well, Rose, you're very sweet. Thank you. She said, you look beautiful today. You always do. But today, I have a gut instinct. You have a schedule date today. I don't. Actually, I'm so glad you brought that up. And thank you, by the way. Here's the thing. I was sleeping, got up a little after 5 to feed the dogs, laid back down because I was up very late last night. It was a very, very long day of work. In fact, my eyes started bothering me a little bit. I had those prism glasses on that have been helping me, but it just got to a point where I'm like, my husband said, you got to get up. It's time for you to take a break or you need to go to bed. And yeah, I was a little exhausted. Again, I'm always going to be honest and authentic with you. Here's what happened. I woke up this morning and I thought, I'm just going to throw a hat on. I'm just going to put on some workout clothes and I'm going to go on. And it's that easy. But what did I ask all of you yesterday? I asked you to all of us come together and do a challenge. And the challenge was to show up. Yesterday, what was my topic? Not my topic. Yesterday, what was my intentional word? My intentional word was awakening. And today, my intentional word is drive. Drive, drive, be driven, all in the same context. And so it meant show up for them, Monica. They're going to show up for you. Now, you might be in your pajamas, you might be in workout clothes, but I'm asking you to go the other level, right? When I asked yesterday to bring your A game and what that meant and all out effort, well, that's me. I decided to put a dress on. And yes, this isn't just a top, this is a full on dress. I've got a dress on for you. I have makeup on for you. I have earrings I put on for you. I even have perfume on, fix my hair, makeup, the whole game. That means that I'm in it, all in. So when I ask people if they're all in, would you have come to me just and rolled out of bed? And I very easily could have, because guess what? I have clients coming to the house in an hour and a half, and I obviously will not have a dress on for them. So I put this on for you. What does that mean to you? Does that mean that you take your game up a little bit? That you trust your gut to say, wow, I need to be guided by what Monica showed today. Maybe I had to do this for you to realize that whatever it is that you have to go and do today, your gut saying, listen to Monica, you should probably change into something different for your first impression to a job interview you're going to. Don't just roll in and not have an iron shirt. It's all about presentation as well. I mean, that first impression you make is everything. Marilyn said, show up and go all in. Exactly. The chills. Okay. Terry's answering the chills question. The chills are a reaction to your conscience and God's touch or angel's touch to help redirect or steer you. But how many people actually pay attention to the chills? Bubbly and Michael Bublé, I better be in the room when he shows up. Love them both, right? So I have not interviewed Michael. We did on Channel 2. I think Randy and John interviewed Michael. I, though, had a chance to go to many of his concerts, and on one of them, I went up close to the walkway that he was on, and he held my hand while he was singing. So I do have a little connection to Michael. We just need to get Michael and Bubbly Water, or Bublé Water, again, as he calls it, on the show. We need you as a sponsor. There we go. We'll send that little clip to them. Okay. Drive, intuition, effort, know your value, trust your gut, Caroline says. I'd love to hear from Caroline, because what I want is the generations. We had a 13-year-old in the chair the other day, in the blue chair. We're doing hashtag in the blue chair, all the way up to seniors. I don't care who it is. I want the message to get across to all of you. But Caroline, what do you think gut instinct is? Because Caroline's in her early 20s. She's a junior, almost a senior at Syracuse, New York, Syracuse University. She'll be going back in just a few weeks. And then we want to know, that's another good thing. Do you have a son or a daughter or a niece or a nephew or friends that are looking for an internship? Because I would love to help guide them. In fact, the first time really that I felt, and that's probably why I was so busy, that I felt like I was really able to give Caroline the type of attention she needs from me. Because again, her internship is with me and my whole team, but I would love for her to have more time with me. But the way our schedules are is just crazy. Yesterday, I was able to sit with the entire package that Caroline and George had been editing. I gave a bunch of feedback, and there were only maybe 3 or 4 things that I wanted to see change. That's pretty powerful for someone who's in their early 20s. And then for someone who's been in the business longer than she's been alive to not want to change the whole package. There are some things that I wanted to change before it gets aired to you tomorrow morning. But wow, I was very impressed. So Caroline, if George did not pass that along to you, I want to make sure that you know that I said, way to go. Very, very proud of you. Marilyn, Monica, well, you're sweet. You look gorgeous no matter what. And yes, to clarify, you have an amazing talent in your voice. Beautiful voice. You need to have a gig with either Johnny Chase or any other band. But Marilyn, I've got a lot of passions, and singing is one of them. Dancing is one of them. Trying to get back to playing the piano is another, and not get dizzy from the car accident I was in. That's the biggest thing. And it makes me upset sometimes when I sit down and realize just how dizzy I continue to get, and being pulled away from after buying that grand piano. I hope so. Yeah, at one point in time in life, you're welcome, Caroline. At one point in time in life, I actually wanted to be in a band. Sure, absolutely. And I appreciate that. I do love to sing. We love you just as much in your workout clothes. I know you do, Richard. I know you do. But today I know. Today my gut instinct said to dress up. Where do you think that came from? I followed it, by the way. I listened to it. And some people wouldn't listen to it. I did. I don't know why, but someone needed to see me dressed up today. Someone needed to see me in full makeup and with earrings on and my hair fixed and not in a hat and not in workout clothes. You will get all versions of Monica, Richard, and everybody else. You will. But today, I don't know why. My gut said, put a dress on. Go the extra mile. Go all in. And that's all I'm really asking from all of you. Caroline answered. Again, Caroline's 23. My gut is my internal voice, my soul's perspective. Look how intuitive she got, intellectual, guiding from the soul. So when I ask people questions, it's very easy to answer straight out of the gate with your mind. But I ask you to go here: heart, soul, spirit, gut. You've got to dig deep when you are making decisions in life. Too often, people make decisions by just a brushstroke, and they think from the mental side. But where do you think the mental is guided from? Before it gets anywhere to speak, you've got to go through the process of back and forth between the mind, the heart, the spirit. When you are writing, let's go old school, right? When people used to mail letters, which by the way, I love still the traditional side of opening the mailbox and seeing a handwritten letter. To me, there's nothing like it. But the letter, the email, the text message, the phone call, if you've got something to say to someone and something's on your mind and it's a hard discussion to have, if you only speak from the brain, you're going to get in trouble. Plain and simple. If you only operate from the brain and you separate and you don't let the heart having any control, the soul, the spirit to have any control, then you've only got I would say a quarter of the guiding force that you need. You need to go back and forth between the process of what does the heart feel. But some people say, oh my gosh, I wear my heart on my sleeve and I'm taken advantage of. I see that. I don't want you to only operate from the heart either, right? I asked you to go through the process. The heart, the gut, the soul, the spirit, the mind, the body, everything. What does it feel? The body, why do I include that? Because it's that chill factor, right? It's the little goosebumps. It's the hair standing on the back of your head. It's the feeling that someone's right here guiding you, because they are. If you believe that, I do. I didn't want to get moving this morning, but your notification coming on got me going. Treadmill, you and me, let's do this. I love it. Oh, Terry said I dressed up for her today. Oh, it's your birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry. Happy birthday to you. Cheers, my friend. A bubbly for you. Maybe I'll open some. I haven't had any wine in a while. Glass of wine, maybe just for you, Terry. Happy birthday to you. Linda says as well. Happy birthday from Kathy. Look, you're getting all the birthdays. Thank you. 55. Oh, and she got a birthday cake. You going to have some cake today? That's okay. Don't beat yourself up, by the way, when you have your birthday cake. I want you to have that. You're welcome. There's your little song just for you. Grab that clip and you can put it on your social media. Say, Monica sang me happy birthday today. Okay, if you're just tuning in, again, it's the Real Monica Adams Show, and we are mobile. We're from my home. This is my office, by the way. Welcome to my home. You know I love my fashion, my bodice, my form behind me. It's actually a French one. I don't know if you can see. Oh, I just knocked down my parasol. The M and then the French form and measuring tape, always ready to go to do some custom design for people. And I do that, by the way. Pam says happy birthday to Terry as well. Okay, Rose, I love to dress up, but I'm out in the country taking care of 4 strays. My son Chase is graduating in December in integrated marketing. He loves social media. He can tell you who and what companies need help. He's my biggest accomplishment. Wow, you have a great voice too. Well, thank you, Rose. By the way, does he need an internship? Because one of the things I really want is a focus on the social media side. So I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. I need to have a bigger Twitter presence. That's where my biggest presence used to be when I was in television, that instantaneous access to you, the immediacy that you needed of traffic information or news information or sports information. Did all of that. Need to get my presence on Twitter a little bit better. But one of the things I would love to see in an internship with us is that social media side, because I want those quick, very creative clips that I do not have time to do. Those are the things that I'd like to see them do, and then guide them and help them to pull the right ones from the show. What are the most impactful ones from the show, right? Those are the things. So as you're tuning in this morning, not only are you listening to the topic of the day, which has to do with following your gut instinct and where that gut instinct comes from, that driving force, whoever or whatever you think guides you. I want to hear from all of you, and I want you to go deeper. Now we're going to take a break, and the question for you is, do you think anything would have changed in the past if you had followed your gut? And how can you listen to that a little bit more right now and in the future? Okay? Answer me that when we return.
Carroll House is now the contemporary furniture design center.
We now have the largest selection of the latest ultra-modern furniture.
Sleek European design.
The warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 310 314-567-5585, or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com. 314-567-5585. Welcome back. You're tuned in to the Real Monica Adams Show. Our friends in Vita Health and Wellness. You just heard from Aldon, Indoor Air Quality Specialist. Again, if you have any problems with your HVAC system, why would you call anybody else? They're trusted. They've been around since the 50s, taking care of so many families in our area. Support local. Aldon, Carroll House Furniture, when you need furniture for anything, for your home or for office. Thank them. Thank Brooke and the team at Carroll House, because I want you to patronize these places that are supporting us, supporting this mission. And the only way that we can continue the content is by you showing up and them supporting us. So thank you. And then, of course, you'll be hearing soon from Florida Direct Palm Trees and those beautiful palm trees. So when you see my set, yes, those are real, by the way. They're real here at the house and they're real there. Okay, let's see. Yes. Richard, we're talking about gut instinct today, the driving force. And so my question to you in the next half hour that I want you to answer is, think back in the past. Okay, we're going to dip there. I don't want you to stay there too long, because sometimes it's a dark place to go, especially if it really upsets you. But I want you to think back to decisions that you made, or maybe you think about decisions that were made in your family, or decisions that your children made, or your parents made, or your boss made. And think if they had taken an extra step and thought more, who's guiding that gut instinct decision, and not just a very quick, hurried decision that's made out there. That's why when I was talking about the emails that people so quickly send out, the text message that they so quickly hit send on, and then they wish they could get it back. Sometimes you can undo, and you're lucky for that, because you would probably be upset if, in fact, you were able to pull it back. You probably would have been happier. So I'm asking you. I wish I could turn. I'm a little distracted, as you can see. A little squirrel just crawled all the way up the house and was looking in the window. Oh, he just went away. I'm pretty high up in our home. I see these little beady eyes poking through the window looking at me. He's like, hey, I want to listen to the Real Monica Adams Show. He just left, though. We love our sponsors, Caroline. You bet. You can be one of them, too. And so she just gave you my email address. There it is, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Okay. Richard said, yes, 7 years of marriage, I did not listen to my gut, and I finally started. But Richard, how different do you think your life would have been? Was it a really difficult marriage? Was there something that you think that if you had followed your gut that you could have saved the marriage? Do you think that it would have been maybe at this point more amicable? Let's go deeper. So when we answer questions, let's go even deeper. So like I said, normally when someone types something in, it's the first mindset from the brain that you first type. And then when you think, oh, wow, she's asking me to go even deeper into that. I am. I'd love to see where you would go with that. Joy says, yes, I ignored my gut instinct in the past, and those decisions were mistakes. This kind of goes with gut feeling. How do you confront someone who you know is lying to you without calling that person a liar? So you have to watch how you don't want to just it'll never go well when you are calling someone out, right? It never goes well when you start a conversation with something that blames. So when you go through relationships, a lot of times, relationship counseling, a lot of times that counselor will say, if you own things first and foremost, or you compliment, it softens the situation. If you feel that someone is lying, I've caught people in lies. Look, I always say karma will come back. And in the end, they'll realize their mistake. I don't think you come out and call them a liar. Maybe you say things in a sentence that you hope that they pick up on. There's a lot of fake people. We've talked about fakeness in the past. We've got a show on fakeness. But I think it's just, if you are very careful and selective in how you speak to that person that you feel is bringing a lie to the table or fakeness to the table, just say what you believe and see how their reaction is. And then watch their eyes, the shiftiness. If you really feel that's your gut instinct, by the way. And so you either decide to continue to hang around the person. I don't know the context of the story that you're talking about, but if someone is a regular liar, regularly hides things from you and is fake, those are people you don't want to hang around. Terry said that the squirrel wanted to see my dress. Ooh, I like that color on Monica. Okay, I'm going to go tell the rest of my family. Come on up here. If I see a bunch come up, I'm going to crack up. Yes, I ignored my gut instinct. So a lot of people say that. If you did that in the past, do you feel that I want you to tell us what the circumstance is. Do you feel that if you had listened to your gut instinct in the past, that it maybe would have saved a marriage, that it maybe would have saved a relationship, that would maybe, if you now own that, that maybe it would bring you back to something? You still have an opportunity. Maybe you could salvage something. I don't know. That's what I want to know. So when you go deeper into your answers in this, when we have retreats, when we have seminars, that's when you really change. That is when life really wakes up for you. Kathy said, my dad has been a guiding force. When I was growing up, he told me to write the pros and cons for a decision. Yeah. So obviously, with you coming into my life, it probably made you feel like, oh my gosh, my dad's here all over again, because I do that on a regular basis. Every person that I coach, I make them do a pro and con list. But I'm going to show you something in just a second. What else was her thing? Taking your time and listening to your both mind and your intuition. So yes, Kathy, I go a little deeper. So one of the people that I told you I coach, I put the pro and con list for her, and it's just sheets and sheets of filling that in. But the very first time you fill in a pro and con list, it is always guided from the mind alone. And then when you say, I need to go deeper with it, it suddenly changes sometimes. It either has the same feel, but there's more added to it, or sometimes it completely changes when you fill in the pro and con list and you speak from the heart. So I think sometimes people are a little apprehensive to write in the comment section how they really feel. And that's unfortunate, because the more you give, the more you change your life and you change others, because you are leading, not following. People wait for someone to be the first to write something in this show, when I want you to just open up if you're willing, just like I do on my Thursday night class. So tonight we have class. Does anybody want to join in the class? It is so powerful, because now it's not just me talking and you typing, it's you talking with me and immediately an answer. And then that answer opens up to the other people that are on the call. It's on Zoom and it is open to the public. I have a few that are on regularly. We used to have a huge class. I'm still there, still doing it for you, but it's not private anymore. I mean, that's a big thing. It's open to the public Thursday nights. Why don't you join it? If you're still suffering, but you have in the last 5 months been listening to this show and this show has changed you, I've had people tell me that they've lost 18 to 25 pounds just since the retreat we had on June 4th, simply by changing aspects of their life that have to do with the weight that they carry from darkness, from beating themselves up, from having no self-love, from letting others guide their life, from abuse, from trauma. I could go on and on. But when they started saying, I'm the most important person in the equation of my life, they started dropping weight. And they said, how did that happen? Because that's what's happening. You're holding on to it because you're not truly living. And that's a big aha moment. Yes, I want you to eat healthier. Obviously, Kathy asked us to address nutrition and healthy eating. Sure, I want you to do that. Sure, I want you to work out. I want you to move more. Take the dogs for a walk. Take you for a walk. Take the kids. Do the whole family thing. But when you start living a healthier life, meditating, breathing better, making proper decisions by listening to your mind and your heart, the weight comes off because you're carrying so much with you that you're not sleeping well. And then when you're not sleeping well, you're not operating from the brain or the heart well, which means you don't make good decisions. All those things play into it. That's how, when you put it all together, when I ask you to go all in and you take the challenge of going all in, that's what it looks like. And it doesn't become so hard. So many people feel like, I've been overeating. I'm putting so much pressure on myself. Why do you overeat? Because you're not putting the rest of the game on the table and operating properly. That's honestly what happens. Let's see who else is talking here. My gut can also be my guard. Yellow flags are present and sometimes turn red flags. Gut instinct is also my conscious in some situations. Yeah, we always have the warning. So you've probably heard me say in the past that you have whispers that turn into a little louder, that turn into a little flick on you, a little smack on you, until it's like a gut punch. So that's the gut instinct. Why do you hear people say gut punch? Because it's straight into where you should have listened. I think when you dress up, at least just makeup and earrings makes you feel confident and pretty. Of course, sometimes following your gut doesn't always work out for me. Okay, why is that? I decide too quick and then I go for it. 7-year bad marriage before I got out. Now I pray for answers before I make decisions. Yes, but the gut probably would have led you in a different way, Rose, is what I'm saying. So when you follow your gut, it is the intuitive side. right? We talked earlier on in the show about the third eye and having that intuition. Some people wish they had that. Some people are naturally born with it, and others can work on it to where it becomes just like another appendage to them. Marilyn, do not fall off your chair. Yes, I will be on there. I already requested not to be on the phone from 4 to 5. Holy cow, she's going to be on tonight. That's what I was like. What do you mean, don't fall out of my chair? I thought, like, am I getting ready to fall out of my chair? Yes, I will be on there. Fantastic. So we've got another person who's joining tonight's class. It is open to the public. It's $25 and it is well worth it because it is well deeper, so much deeper than where we go on the morning session. The morning session is what I'm going to call it, right? It's this podcast, the Real Monica Adams podcast, where we talk together, but you can't talk with me. So when we talk about gut instinct and guiding forces and driving our lives and how we made decisions in the past that didn't guide us well and mistakes that we made, and it's okay to make a mistake. It's also okay to fail. It's okay to fall down. But what it's important is to get yourself back up. I am so happy, Marilyn, that you're coming on tonight. Gut instinct also makes me pause and change direction in my life. That's what I'm asking. Exactly. What would you have done differently? That's what I want to read from you or hear from you tonight, because we'll go deeper tonight about this. What would you have done differently if you had followed your gut? What decisions would you have made? I'm going to answer that. I'm going to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to go really real with you, really, really real with you, and tell you things that happened in television. And if I had followed my gut, how many years would have been saved? Maybe this show would have been started a long time ago. However, I believe God always has a timing purpose. So I do believe that March 1st, when I first came to you, was the date I was supposed to. But I just think that my awareness would have been different. We'll talk about that when we return.
Warm weather, sand beaches, and boats galore. It's not Florida, it's a Lake of the Ozarks. Florida Direct Palm Trees brings tropical flair to your patios, docks, and yards. From a few feet all the way to 25 feet, there are palm trees for every property. Florida Direct also provides palm tree potting soil, palm fertilizer, large decorative pots, and a wide selection of locally grown tropical flowers and plants to add the perfect accent to your tropical paradise. Florida Direct Palm Trees, bringing paradise to your patio for 14 plus years.
All right, a quick break and we're back to you. And of course, we take those breaks to thank our incredible growing list, as you can see here, a growing list of sponsors. And we have a fifth one that's coming on board, and it looks like maybe 2 to 3 more. We have shows that are going to be done that businesses are paying for so that we can come out, promote their business, and then do the show from there. I mean, there's so many things that we want to do together. And then the fun little mobile Monicas. So next week is Shark Week, by the way, and we are going to have a really fun and informative package for you that we're going to, it'll be a small little package that I'll have in my live show. And we'll talk about the aquarium, the incredible aquarium we have at St. Louis Union Station and what they're doing for Shark Week. So think about things that you're going to be doing with the kids and the family before the kids go back to school. I would love for you to consider taking them to the aquarium and seeing. I had not been to the aquarium, and I want to go back now because there's so much we didn't get a chance to see because we went straight into the shark since it is National Shark Week. So that will be coming up for you. My friend wants me to come and do a piece out at the City Winery. Has anybody been there, by the way? They have music, incredible wine and food. It's only been open, I think, within the last year. I remember us talking about it in television, and I haven't been there, but she had suggested that, and I said, yeah, let's do it. So if you have something that you would like for me to feature, maybe you've been, or maybe you would like to go, maybe you can't get there. Again, not everybody is able-bodied. And if that's the case, maybe you would just like to see it play out on the show. I'll do that for you. Danny, good morning to you. Good morning. Truly understanding this today. Never go out without trying to make myself look like I take care of me. That's right. First impressions are everything. If you're just tuning in, we're in our last 15 minutes of the show, and today's topic has been gut instinct. And my question to you was, would you have maybe done something different? Or how would your life have changed if you had followed your gut? And I told you I would give you a little bit of that has to do with my television career. My gut told me to start up my workouts with you, Monica. And she followed her gut, by the way, because she's training with us now. Bad lab results woke me up to make changes in my diet and exercise. And I said sometimes, I don't want people to wait for the really bad medical things to happen. I want you to do it before. So yes, Before it became so out of hand, she decided to take her life back and start training. And she said she already feels better. She can already tell a change because she's making smarter eating choices. 3 weeks in, and I've seen my fitness. Love the new beginning I've made with Monica, and the door has opened with new friends. Absolutely. Stephanie, I wouldn't have got married and moved away from my family and friends. Oh, you just gave me a chill. Thank you for your honesty, Stephanie. Now that's going all in. See, she's putting that out there to all of you that maybe know her or don't know her or have the possibility for someone that does know her to see it. She didn't care. She wanted to put it out there because she is honest and authentic. That shows integrity. Interesting, Stephanie. So you wouldn't have gotten married and wouldn't have moved away from family and friends. Where'd you move to, by the way? Ride the Ferris wheel, Stephanie says. Yes, the Ferris wheel at Union Station is amazing. Do that and then go over to the aquarium. God's in control of our destiny, not until the moon and the stars align. Never live by regret. It is like a fine wine. We are grateful that this is your year, Monica, and we reap the lowest hanging fruit. Thank you. It's so funny that you would say the moon because look, today is National Moon Day, National Pennsylvania Day, Get to Know Your Customers Day, National Lollipop Day. Ooh, National Fortune Cookie Day. What would your fortune cookie say? If you wanted it to say anything, what would that fortune cookie say? World Jump Day. Oh, we got to all jump up and do some plyometrics. And it's International Chess Day. Those are fun. The national and international world calendars. How funny. Leonard Skinner is coming to LaChance Winery in DeSoto. Really? I know the Harold Hamby is a good friend of mine. Okay, hang on a second there. When is that, Caroline? Caroline, that's so funny. She just had a random thing that she threw out there. I think she wants me to have Leonard Skinner on the show, or do a show from there. Leonard Skinner. I'm writing this down. Coming to LaChance Winery in DeSoto. I love it. Let's do a live show from there. Harold Hamby, somebody needs to get this message to him. I want to do the show when he's there. Tell us when that's going to be. Hi, Monica. Happy birthday to me. Oh, how funny. You're kidding me. Terry, the two Terrys both have a birthday on the same day. That's crazy. Terry Mangini and Terry, well, I know her as Lanham. Both of you have birthdays today. That's just silly. That's just silly fate. So Terry and Terry have not met each other yet, but I have two Terrys in my workout group now. Terry's in Hawaii or Colorado. I don't know where she is. I never know where Carrie's going to be. Should have said myself. Okay. I moved here from Minnesota, Stephanie says. So Stephanie, you wouldn't have come here, huh? Can you go back to Minnesota? Can you salvage the decision? So one of the reasons I told you I wanted you to dip into the past is because I want you to think, if you followed your gut, would you go back? I have a friend here, by the way, that we train with. She's from Minnesota. And maybe you should join because maybe you need to make new friends. Do you feel alone? Do you feel abandoned because you miss those family and friends? Can you move back? Do you want to move back? I have a lot of questions for you. I love that you use the word integrity. Oh, that's everything to me, Richard. Everything. More people need to know exactly what that means. Oh, you just gave me a chill. See, the chill, there it is, comes from God, comes from alignment. I think the chills come from so many layers. Integrity is everything. And the reason I say that I will not have just any sponsor on this show is because I have integrity. I want the sponsors that we have to align with you, and that when I ask you to go and support and patronize their businesses, it's because I know that they think the same way that we do. And there's my chill again. It's God and Father, my dad, telling me, honey, yes, continue to follow that. Continue to say what you're saying. Okay, September 30th, Caroline says, Leonard Skinner is coming to LaChance Winery in DeSoto, September 30th. Let's have a big show there. Let's do the Real Monica Adams show from there. I love it. I moved here from Minnesota, is what Stephanie said. Right. Would you go back? So Terry Lanham said, happy birthday, Terry, to the other Terry. You're going to need a sweater if you keep getting chills. Richard, you're so funny. I agree with that, right? I absolutely think I do. But I love that. I love that feeling of the chill. I love the feeling of being guided from above. And I love those little aha moments because to me, that's what it is. So what decisions in our final 10 minutes do you think you would have made different? And if you had made them, do you think your life would have drastically changed? So I promised to give you a little background. I was at Channel 2 for 15 years. And In the beginning, I had a person that brought me over that said, do you want to do traffic? I had did I ever want to do traffic? It's not something I ever wanted to do. And look, I did it for 18 years, partnered up with anchoring the last three, which I want to thank Carol and Alicia and the staff over at KSDK for letting me do what I was meant to do. But 15 years of a person squashing me, squashing my dreams, trying to have control over me because I was told they were insecure and jealous. It's just so interesting to me because if you have a boss and you tell that boss you would do anything, that you would give it your all. I mean, look, people are looking for people to work hard these days. And you've got this generation that doesn't want to work. That makes no sense to me. I mean, my integrity and the drive and the determination that I have came from the way I was raised. Here I was wanting to give them all. Can't just make, the fault to one person because there's decisions made from up above. But for 15 years, I allowed myself to be treated that way, pushed in a corner, and only did traffic, sprinkled in a little fitness, and then pulled it back. Said I wanted to anchor, said I wanted to host the show, and was told that all of you would be confused. I mean, I was like, do you think they're not intelligent? They know that we can do a lot of things. They know I'm a personal trainer. There were so many levels. And what happened? Before I started the mantra of knowing your value, which is what my driving force is. My gut instinct is always to know your value, Monica. Know your value. You can't go out there and just give everything away for free. You can't go out there and train people for free. You can't go out there and do life coaching for free. You can't go out there and style people because you're being pulled away from your family. It's a job. I know my value. And then it becomes, what are you worth? What is your worth? Some people say know your worth. I say know your value. I didn't learn that value though until the last 3.5 years. So look, it doesn't matter when you learn it. What matters is that you do. So for me, I would not have stayed at Channel 2 for 15 years and just done traffic when I knew that I had come from a 12-year news background. I was a news director for 12 years. I did news in radio for so many different stations. I worked for KMOX and did my health and fitness show. And I have to thank Steve Moore and the staff, John Butler and the staff at KMOX for pulling me away. In fact, they wanted to pull me away from WIL when I had just taken on that news director position. So many decisions that are made. Would I have changed the course of where I am right now? Sometimes I wonder that. But then I look and say, nope, right now, right here is where I needed to be. And Marilyn said it earlier. It's so very true. God puts you, if you believe, exactly where you are at the exact moment you're supposed to be there. And there's my chill again. That I would have loved to have started this with you earlier. I would have loved to have had the TV show with the live audience that I've always wanted, to be a host of that show. I mean, look, I used to follow Katie Couric and I look at Oprah Winfrey and I look at Hannah Storm in sports, Susie Colbert, so many different people that are role models. Of course, Karen Foss in the local television market. But I look at all that and my family and my friends used to say, but that should be you. Why are you not up there? Now they just put anybody behind the desk. Now it's hilarious. Now it's like, you want to anchor? You anchor. It's like Oprah giving away cars. You get to anchor. You get to anchor. You get to anchor. We don't have to pay any money. We don't have to pay any money. That's truly what the industry has turned into. I'm being honest with you. That is truly it. And you have people sitting behind the anchor desk that can't even do the English language. They're stringing words together that don't even belong in the English language because they don't exist. But there's no integrity anymore in the television industry. They don't care. They just want to put somebody there and they are just hoping that maybe you'll watch something and you won't pick up on it. It's sloppy. It's sloppy journalism. It really has come into that. It's unfortunate. Okay, so happy birthday to the other Terry. Cannot wait to meet you, Terry says. I may move back someday. I have friends and my church family here. I'm taking care of my cousin here. I hate winter, too much snow and cold weather. I go home when I can. Well, Minnesota, doesn't it have more snow than us? I absolutely love the aha moments. Speaking of that, did you used to shop at Cache? Yeah. How'd you know that, Marilyn? I did. Cache was definitely a store that I loved. I like more unique boutiques. Unique Monique boutiques. I always wanted my name to be Monique, by the way. I do love boutiques. I love to wear different things that other people don't wear. I absolutely love the aha moments. I love that. I like it here, Stephanie says. Well, good. I've been here 23 years. My gut told me it was time back in early 2023 to come back to Monica for direction in fitness, nutrition, and now life coaching. I thought I was putting myself first, but I wasn't. I know the money spent on myself is so worth it on so many levels. I'm so glad I followed my gut. Those of you reading this, come join us. You'll thank yourself. Yeah. Angie could tell you all about that. Angie used to train with me, and then she would leave, and then she would come back. I would see the tears. She would cry. She'd look back at old pictures. And I think if she looked back at old pictures and if she'd figured out where she was in that headspace and heart space, that mindset, and if she had stayed with it, she probably would say, see where I would be, but it doesn't matter. Don't blame yourself. Don't do the blame game. Just applaud yourself for making a decision now, and let's do it. Let's go all in. Let's do it together. God's timing is always best, says Kathy. Yes. Rose, you know your value, Monica. Your worth is through the roof. God does put you where he thinks you need to be. Thanks for being honest. You're teaching us to be our real. You're very welcome. My biggest life lesson came from ignoring my gut. Joy, I can't wait to see you on tonight. I have Cinder on tonight. I have Tammy on tonight. We have Marilyn on tonight. Who else? Happy birthday, my Terry friends. Yeah, right? It's amazing. Who else is going to join us tonight? Who else is going to make the decision and no longer wait and follow the gut instinct that says, Monica keeps inviting us to the Thursday night class, and I've been ignoring that. Who's going to follow us and come on tonight? I'm going to ask you that. I will provide you the Zoom link. You will be on with us live, and it will be so impactful and so life-changing, much deeper than this podcast can ever go. Our final moments together right after the break. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com. All right, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're in the final few minutes of the show, and that's okay because the show will be there for you so that you can receive the message and you can take it, whether you take it in increments of 10 to 15 minutes, and then you pause and you come back, kind of like you do with an audio podcast. And if you follow audio podcasts, it'll always show you where you left off, and then you can start right back up. The same applies to these shows. Take the message in. And what I'd really like for you to do is to take notes. It's just the same way as journaling. So tonight when you join the class, come to class just like you would when you were in school, with pen and paper in hand, with your journal in hand. Come to tell me more about yourself and where you feel like you've been suffering in life, how that gut instinct could have driven you in a whole different path. Come ready to be real and authentic. Bring everything to the table. And then when you leave the night, don't leave anything on the table. I want you to lay it all out there for us, for you. That's how you're really going to change. Your spirit, your mind, your soul, you bring your A game that we talked about yesterday. That's what I want for you. Okay, so on Monday, I'm going to be able to introduce you to this man, Jeff Kozatek. He wrote the book Blueprint for Value. You do not want to miss this show. First of all, he's hilarious. He's got the most incredible background of entertaining and juggling and the things he's juggled. I saw him actually he's got a picture of him in a run. I can't wait to see whether he was doing a marathon or a triathlon or what he was doing, but he was juggling while he was running. I mean, think about even taking on the feat of doing a marathon. The man was juggling. And then all these pictures he sent me are just absolutely hilarious of what he's done. Look up his name, by the way, and you'll see all the things. He's a motivational speaker as well. That's how you spell it. Jeff Kozatek. Blueprint for Value, 52 habits to discover and strengthen your personal worth. And I like to read from this when I'm mobile, and then I do the 100 Days to Freedom when we are in the studio. And I also do the 100 things that you can do for wellness. Here's my bookmark, by the way. This is the bookmark from him. And it says, you stopped here. Number 13. We're on 13 of 52, and it has to do with pacing. Slow down. You don't need to rush. And if you slow down more, you might follow that gut instinct we've been talking about today. We want to keep up with the Joneses and prove our worth. Comparison and seeking external value can cause us to rush through life and glorify busy. When you rush, you can miss essential details. Your checklist can become consuming and your journey can become a grind. When you move too fast, you lose sight of your values and your motivating why. As your purpose becomes clouded, and I always say debris filled, what you do and how you do it can become tedious and steal your focus. In fact, your purpose can evaporate while you seek to stay busy. Don't drown yourself in busyness. Take some time for yourself. You deserve it. Each and every one of you deserve it. So your takeaway for today, take time to remember your why, your purpose, and what you value. I mean, look, see how it's crazy. I did not read this in advance, but we were talking about purpose and value. You owe it to your dreams and yourself not to rush through life. So that was the first chapter, 13 of the 52 things that he talks about. And the chapter was called Engage. The next chapter that we'll get into as we read from this has to do with equip. But we're going to hear from the man on Monday in the blue chair, Jeff Kozatek, Blueprint for Value. On Tuesday, Moses, who I told you is in the same building as us. Moses reached out to me about a month or two ago and told me about these incredible books that he's been putting together. And it's not just a regular children's book. It's a book that will have a profound impact on your child's life and on your life as a parent. If they are dealing with bullying, if they are wondering who they can be in life, he takes the pictures of your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, your godchildren. He said ideally between the ages of 2 and 10. He puts their picture and then it morphs into what they will look like. And it made me tear up. It made me get those chills. I showed it to my brother. My brother's their grandfather, by the way. Made him tear up because he saw his grandson in this book. Like, oh my gosh, is that what he's going to look like? You know how they can do that morphing? Like if a child disappears and they say the child's been gone for 15 years, 20 years, this is what they probably would look like. It's that kind of a thing. It's that's the part of AI that I think is pretty powerful. Anyway, inspirational objects support. That is Moses. Moses is going to be on with us on Tuesday with my brother and sister-in-law at the end of the show with my great niece and great nephew. You don't want to miss because my family will be a part of this. We're going to give those books to Olivia and Michael. And I can't wait to see the expression on their face when they see that that's them in the book. And then as they go throughout their life to be able to see if you want to be a police officer, a doctor, you want to be the president, you want to be a world explorer. It's you believe in yourself and you can be anything you want to be. That's what one of the books is about. And then the other has to do with bullying. And this little girl who had the talent of singing and her voice of song, and then bullies stripped her down and stopped her voice. It's kind of like when we did the interview with Lemmy Pulliam, right? The fat shaming stopped him. And oh my gosh, that incredible talent that he had was pulled away from the world for so long until he found it again. I can't wait. It's probably going to bring tears to your eyes as you watch this all unfold. So that's Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll do some solo stuff together on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow, though, you don't want to miss this. I do a special feature on this incredible Italian restaurant, Casa Don Alfonso at the Ritz-Carlton. It is a beautiful piece. I want to thank Caroline and George for their wonderful editing efforts. They put this together. And first of all, the photography and the videography alone is stunning. I want to thank Michelle because she took a ton of the pictures and video as well. This got the #1 Italian restaurant in America back in 2021. We should be so proud because it's right here in St. Louis. And it brought a ton of tourism, by the way, to our area. But a lot of people may have forgotten about it. I want you to watch this piece. It's about 21 minutes. I'll be on with you live, though, because we will have that. And then right after that, I'll come on and we'll talk. So tomorrow in the 7 o'clock hour, you'll have that scheduled for you right after 7 o'clock. You'll see that play out and then be with me right about 7:20, 7:30. And we will take it through what our area has been through and how we can bring more tourism back to St. Louis. That's tomorrow. Okay, as we wrap up, Joy says, my biggest life lessons came from ignoring my gut. No more, right? No more. Follow that gut. Is your class a Zoom class? Yes, it is, Stephanie. You want to join us? Shoot me an email. Let me put it on the screen right now. Here you go. And it says if you'd like to be a sponsor or if you want to be a guest or if you want to join, here's my email address. It's scrolling across the screen right now for you. I look at the price as an investment in myself, Kathy says. Absolutely. Good morning, my friend, Tony. It is a Zoom class tonight. It's at 5 p.m. Stephanie, come join us. Do not wait. Obviously, your gut instinct told you to ask that question. Trust me. That's what that meant. Stephanie, I hope I see you on tonight. It was hard for me to say it's my birthday, but I guess my gut told me to. Why would it be hard? Thank you so much, Monica, for singing happy birthday. Your voice is a blessing and very beautiful, just like your soul. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Happy birthday to you, both of you, Terry's. Look at your inbox. I can hardly wait for you two to connect. You will not believe who his best friend is. Not sure where my first email went. Okay, so she's introducing me to someone, which I can't wait for. I was just thinking of Lemmy when you said that, right, Amy? Beautiful podcast. Well, have a great day to you as well. All of you, right now, we went a little past the hour, but that's okay. Right now, if you want more Monica, all you need to do is go to your audio podcast platforms, wherever they may be, whether it's iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, wherever you get your audio podcast. Type in The Real Monica Adams. You'll see the little, everything's blue, right? I love cobalt blue. You'll see my face with the blue hue, and you can listen to Perfectionism. And we actually did a little bonus workout. The guy who edited it, I didn't think he should leave those in, but that's okay. My gut says okay. He had to have done it for a reason. I was listening to it thinking, well, I would have taken this out and this out, but it's interesting when I let go. I didn't used to do that, but let other people do their job. I'd like for you to listen to that and tell me if it made sense to you, if you weren't able to see it. Some of you may have seen that show, but I was working out giving you a bonus. I don't want you to be lost in it. So you get a bonus workout, audible, as I talk to you about perfectionism. So look for that right now as you wrap up this show. Just continue the Monica version as you head off to work or go for a walk, and take that with you, because that's a lot of inspiration for the day. You hit it out of the park again today. Absolutely love your show. Thank you, Richard. Well, I'll be there for you tomorrow. Don't forget, again, tomorrow, beautiful segment. It took a while, by the way, a lot of moving parts to get that to you. So I hope you watch it all, receive it all, and then go and take your family and friends. It's a beautiful place. You can treat it as a special occasion, but you don't have to, because it can be as casual as you want to go in and just receive it, because they want you to feel like that you are in their home in Italy. They don't want it to be like, oh, it's in the Ritz-Carlton, I have to dress formal. I dressed up, but that's me. You don't have to. That's the biggest thing that he stressed. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all for receiving the message. And don't forget, more and more and more of you that have messages that you want me to get across, topics that you want me to cover, people you want me to bring on, just shoot me an email. It's right there on your screen, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. And Stephanie, I can't wait to see you tonight on the show. I know you're going to be there. And for anybody else that's receiving this, if you want to join us tonight, 5 p.m., do not miss it. It's an hour long, and you get to join us. You are there with us. Chris Stapleton tonight, Pray for Clear Skies. Ah, are you kidding? You're going? I have always wanted to see him in concert. Chris Stapleton sings one of my favorite songs that I love to dance with my husband to, Tennessee Whiskey. So that, I can't wait to hear what you think of the concert. Yes, praying for good rain. All right, everybody, in a world where you can go out and do anything and be anything and spread kindness to people, complete strangers, give them a compliment, that's the thing I want you to do. Go out and spread that kindness. And then I'll see you tomorrow morning.